Hello everyone. So as promised, I am live. I'm just going to get the post up on the iPad so I can see if anyone comments. I'm trying out a slightly different camera lighting iPad placement. So I will be curious to hear from you guys if this is better or worse than what I normally do. And if it is worse, please let me know. Obviously I can see my hand across there right now. Hello, Casey. Well, the lighting looks not bad. Okay, we're gonna get started. So what we are going to do today is, I was in my team meeting yesterday, the bigger team that I'm a part of, not my personal small team, and there was a mystery stamping sort of card sketch put out to the group, and so I thought what better way to make my version of it than here with all of you on a rainy Sunday afternoon. So we are going to do that. I've done a little bit of prep in the fact that I have cut a few of the strips. I've got a couple of different card base options, and I've got some white for us to do our stamping on. And we're just gonna dive right in and get started. So I'm choosing to work with the color and contour bundle. I've been using this a lot. It was one of the things I knew I had to have out of the catalog. I love it. I did my team swaps with it. You can see it is well loved. My stamps are already stained, which to me is awesome. It means I am getting my money's worth out of them. So we're gonna use the stamps, we're going to use the dies, and the colors I have focused on. I knew I wanted to use this paper, which is from the Dragonfly Garden, or Dandy Garden, I think. It is called, oh, of course this one doesn't have the piece of paper on it. The Dandy Garden DSP. So it is going to retire at the end of June, so I wanted to use it. And a friend of mine, Dragonfly Paper Crafting, she had made a card recently and showed it to me, and I was like, oh, where's that paper? And then she reminded me. So I wanted to use these white stripes with the Misty Moonlight, so we're gonna use the Misty Moonlight. And then we are going to do some flowers, so I brought in Magenta Madness and Bumblebee, and we're gonna do some leaves, so I brought in the Just Jade. So we're actually working with the 2020 to 2022 in colors. And then we're gonna be able to play with the new in color square gems that go with these. So a little bit of old, a little bit of new, a lot of fun. Okay, so the sketch calls for 2 pieces of DSP that coordinate, that are 1 and 5 1/4. Okay, so if you wanna jot this down and make this card later, these are 1 inch by 5 1/4. Okay, then it calls for the same in coordinating cardstock. So 1 inch by 5 1/4. And you're meant to cut it with some sort of border die. So we are going to use this fun border die to cut these guys, okay? So let's do that first, and then we can get that part out of the way. And then we will move on to our stamping. All right, so pull out our mini cut and emboss. Seriously, one of the best investments I have made, and we're going to line this up. So when I did these bits of cardstock, because I wanted them to still be roughly 1 1/4, I cut them to be 1 1/2. Because we're gonna cut that top bit off. Once you get that started, then remember you wanna grab the handle. All right, so we've got 1 cute little scalloped edge, and then we will do another. You could very likely put both of these through at the same time. I'm not sure if you can very well in the mini, or actually, you know what, I'm not even sure if you can very well in the new big one, because the tension is nice and tight, so you get good clean cuts. I can in my older Big Shot die cut, as long as something's not very complicated, not a lot of really intricate details to it. So like I can do circles and rectangles. I can do 2 pieces of paper at once, which is lovely when I am prepping multiples for instance, Stamp Camp, which I have been doing all weekend. but I am happy to say that they have been packaged up and in the mail or collected for porch pickup. So that is exciting. Okay, so we have those 2 pieces. We are going to use this again, but I'm going to fold it up and just put it to the side. And we're going to put this die away because, you know, don't put it down, put it away, because when we put things down, we lose them. Okay. All right. I hope that this angle is okay for you guys. All right, so we have both of those, and we have these pieces. All right, now the way the card sketch is laid out is it is laid out on a white piece of cardstock with our stripes here, our DSP, and then our cardstock. I'm going to have mine overlap. In the sketch, it doesn't have it like that. It has white space in between them. And then we're gonna have our flowers pop in the middle. So we have a couple of choices here. So this is where I would love your guys' opinion. We can do that on a white card base, or we can do it on a Misty Moonlight card base. So let's see what that looks like if we do half of it. I think that's going to be too much blue though. I think we need that white in the middle. I feel like you guys are going to agree. What do you think? Is that going to be too much blue? We need the white in the middle? I think so. Okay, I don't see anyone commenting, but I'm gonna go back to the white unless I get enough people saying, no, I should keep it on the blue. All right, we'll put the blue up there though, just in case anyone changes their mind. Okay, so now we're going to stamp 3 of the flowers because we like things in 3s. Can do a couple of things. So we can do either the outline with the dots across it, which I kind of really am loving, or we could do the outline and then fill it in. So let's stamp 1 of each and then we can decide. I like it on the white. Too much blue. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's get out our trusty Pierce mat. Okay, so I'm gonna be curious to see what you guys think. So let's do, we'll do 1 of each. So if we do this flower like this, magenta, and then with the dots, which I think is so fun, love it, popping off the white like that, or we can do it like this, and then now there is a trick to this guy. So you want to look for, and I'm just trying to see, figure it out now, this, line it up. This to me is the one that goes there. Yes. Okay. So this has kind of got like a V, right? So you look for that. Okay, let's see what you guys think, if you like this version or this version. So which one do you think we should use? Ooh, they're both kind of stunning, actually. I don't think I've stamped it like that yet. Ooh. What do you think? Or we could do the pink ones one way and the yellow one a different way. Or 1 of each. Maybe this will be too much white, so maybe we should do them like that. The light one. Just when I'm like, oh, I think we should do it like this, and then you guys tell me the other. Well, that's okay. Where is my sponge? Okay, well, I know I want 2 pink ones regardless. So you know what? Let's just do 2 of each. I like the solid. I kind of like the solid too, Sandy. So since it's my card, I think we're gonna go with the solid. Because I think it's gonna pop off our card a little bit more. I do love the light, don't get me wrong. I've done a whole bunch of cards that way, and I like it a lot. But I think in this case, because we've already got so much white, we're gonna do this way. And so you can see here I didn't line up quite as nicely as I lined up there, but that's okay. All right, let's clean that off. I just re-wet my chamois. So don't do what I'm doing, and I started with the bright color, the pink. You actually would want to, or well, it doesn't matter, you're gonna clean them, but I generally try to start with the lighter of the colors and work up to the darker, just in case, heaven forbid, I didn't clean it well. Okay, there's our bumblebee. So we don't want to forget about these colors, right? Because we were so excited about these colors when they came out last year. Sorry, you're getting my hair in there. Okay, this is not going to be the best setup then from the camera. Whoa, okay, well, I know for next time. Oh my God, that's terrible. My apologies, you guys. I knew there was a good reason I had the camera across from me, not over top, or I just can't lean in. Okay. I don't actually know if well, we're gonna leave it. Okay. I was gonna maybe change from bumblebee to daffodil for just a little bit of a brighter yellow, but I want to use those gems, so we'll leave it. We'll roll with this, and then we will go from there. Okay, that's cleaned. Those are clean. Okay. We're going to, I'm gonna leave them on the blocks just in case I really change my mind about the yellow. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do though, I want to stamp a few leaves. There's no die for these, so we're gonna have to fussy cut them. But that's okay. Fussy cutting is my new jam. Okay, and I'm gonna do these in Just Jade. And I try not to waste any space if I can help it. I don't know how many of these we're gonna need, so I will stamp 5 of them. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. My hair keeps going in there. I can't change it now though because Facebook does not like it when you all of a sudden change the orientation of your camera in the middle of Facebook, of a live. It gets very upset with you. All right, you can put these away. So, of you guys that are watching, who has this bundle? And who, if you don't have it, is it on your list? Have you seen enough people creating with it that you're like, yeah, maybe I overlooked that? I'm gonna cut this down the middle because I'm going to use the mini, so we can't have the paper that big. All right, let's get out our die. So I do find this die really easy to line up, which is great. Not yet, but ordering. Yeah, it's a beaut. I love it. So you just kind of have to, again, so look for the obvious. So to me, this is the obvious. It's this little, kind of like a heart. It reminds me of a heart, that one. And it's quite obvious in the die. So if you get that one lined up and then you just turn it so you've got the right orientation, you'll see that this one is really quite simple, which is not always the case. Sometimes with Stampin' Up, you have to really kind of figure out how a flower die lines up with the stamped image, but I find this one is quite simple. And if you were doing multiples, if you always then put the stamp down the same way, you will then always be able to just keep lining up image after image after image. Again, I have learned this through trial and error. All right, so we are going to do 3 of these. We're going to need a greeting as well, and then, like I said, we're going to fussy cut those leaves. And then we're going to be done after we add some of those gems, which I haven't cracked open yet. All right, so there we go. There's our 3 flowers. I will cut this one out later. So what I do, and I don't know what you guys do, so if I stamp extras of something and I decide not to use them, then I put them in either with the dies or with the stamp set. And that way I will know that I have them. And so then the next time I go to use that set, I'll be like, oh right, I already have this one that I had from before. Okay, and let's fussy cut some leaves. So again, with fussy cutting, you can either go right up to the edge of your ink, or you can leave a little white border, whatever your preference is. Sometimes I kind of do a little bit of both, especially with images like this that have a bit of a curve to them. If I'm struggling to get right into a curve, then there might be a little bit more white. Or the happy in the Pretty Perennials stamp set, there's a beautifully scripted happy, which doesn't have a die. So pretty much every demo that owns that has fussy cut out that happy. And I actually really like in certain areas of it to leave more of a white border than in others. So you can see how easy these leaves are to fussy cut. It's not hard at all. So don't not use them because of that. Also, though, you could just do some simple stamping and put the leaves, stamp the leaves right on your project, even if you popped up the flowers, which I could have done. But because of the way we've got these layers, I wasn't sure how that was going to work. So I thought I would do it this way instead. I'm fairly certain I'm going to want at least 3 of these. So I will cut 3 to start, and then we'll go from there. Because I know it's not always super exciting to watch someone be cutting. All right. Get this out of the way, and then you guys can get on with your, I think I said Sunday, didn't I? The rest of your long weekend Monday. I'm all out of whack here. It's been nice that the weekend here has not been rainy up until today, so that was lovely for us to be able to be outside, my kiddo to not be stuck inside, because with COVID we can't really have friends over, at least not where I live. All right, so there's 3, and we will add more if we want to. Okay, let's go here. Let's get our adhesives and let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna lay this out, and then you're gonna see what I'm gonna do, because I want the spacing to be a certain way. And I'm gonna try not to stick my hair in, so I'm gonna have to turn on an angle. So I know that I definitely do not want my camera like this anymore. This was a bad move on my part. Okay, I need to make sure I have equal amounts of blue, so we have to, I don't want one to be way more than the other. So I'm actually going to kind of measure. So we've got basically an inch okay, so I'm going to put adhesive on the bottom of this. And then I'm going to line it up here with my ruler on the grid paper, the 5, and then I'm going to adhere this across. It's also going to make it straight, so that's going to be a bonus for us, more or less. Okay. We will do the same with this one. So line it up against the 5, and then take this guy and line it up roughly at the 6. Okay. Now those can go on our card front. Again, my apologies if my hair is going into the frame. All right, so we're gonna leave a little bit of a border up top. Try to have it even. So I do like the idea of using, so we're gonna go over here to these little grids and line up across. Nope, that's gonna be too, so as long as you're really quick, you have to be really quick with your seal. You can pull it off before it's totally stuck down. I think I would have liked a little more white space, but I am not gonna pull all this off now. So learn from my mistakes, or maybe we'll really like it and you'll be like, yeah. We're gonna put the flowers there anyway. So if you joined in late, this was a sketch put forward by in the team that I'm a part of. We have our team meetings once a month. Okay, so then now we're gonna kind of pop these guys off. I'm gonna look again at the example that we were given. So theirs was sort of very lovely, evenly spaced with the greeting. I'm gonna just sort of play around with mine. And then I think we're gonna need more leaves. So it's a good thing I did 5. And then we're gonna need a greeting. And so sometimes what I like to do, if you are new to watching me, is I will lay everything out, and then because in the interest of time, for those of you who are joining me, I will just adhere things after the fact, because I am cognizant of your time. It's getting into the dinner hour. People have to prep for the week ahead. I do really like the leaves. What do you guys think? What are you thinking so far? And I will never be offended if you're like, ugh, I hate it. Because when I have not actually made something ahead of time, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I sort of envisioned this in my head so that I put some items together, but I didn't actually make it. So I don't have another copy that I made in advance. I just have this one. I just don't know whether we're gonna want, I don't know if they all have to have a leaf or not. Okay, so we need a greeting. The greetings in this set are, you're absolutely amazing, happy for you, thank you for everything, here for you now and in better days ahead. But I was thinking we might just want to kind of put this little guy here. I like it. So the greeting that fits nicely in there. I love the flowers that feel the leaves are not showing. Yeah, too much white. I could color them in. So that's always an option. So we'll go with the amazing. I could color them in with my blend. That is definitely a possibility. And then they would pop a bit more. Okay, I'm gonna line this up. So, because I probably have some people on here who were not on the video I did the other day. So, I have a couple of tricks for lining up my clear stamps. One, if you watch me, is you know I use the grid. But another thing that I learned is you use the stamp set. So line it up on the stamp set. This one doesn't totally work because it's not actually to scale, but I think you can still do it close enough because whatever's been printed on here will be straight. So I've done it there, and then we can go here, and yeah, it's good. Okay, so we need another scrap of white here. I might find a different scrap of white. Is this gonna be big enough? Nope. Okay. And now I think I'm gonna use Misty Moonlight actually for my greeting. And I'm gonna kind of go like this so I know that it's gonna fit. Ouch. I don't need those fingernails. All right. Pull this out one more time. I appreciate those of you who stuck around to see this card to the end. I know it's hard. I'm terrible. I start to watch people. Okay, I'm gonna cut this out and then we'll re-ink it. And then I stop because I have to cook dinner or my kid is talking to me. So I am never offended when people start to watch the video and then they go off to carry on with their lives, or maybe, you know, you don't have the stamp set, you know it's not of interest to you. And I respect that as well. All right, let's try this again. Make sure my hair's not in there. I do, love this. Oh, my hair is in there. I can see it. Oh my God, terrible. All right, get this guy. All right. So bring this back over now. So then I am thinking this is gonna go like right in here. We'll kind of have that guy behind, this guy out front. Okay, so I agree, those leaves aren't really. So let's see what happens if we color one in. And if we hate it, well, we hate it. So, did I put the leaf away? Of course. I'm gonna stamp another one first, and we'll see. Aw, perfect, thank you. Okay, let's stamp this, and then we'll see. And if we like it colored in, then I'll color them all in. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I stamped in Just Jade, but then I've colored in Soft Succulent because I just assumed I was working with those colors. Also, because I have all of my, here we go, blends markers pulled out from when I was doing lots of succulents from the succulent set. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? But you can see how nicely those two colors look together. I don't even know where I had that. Okay, so that's better. I think they're gonna pop now if we color them. So let's color them, and then you guys, I'm not actually gonna do all the adhesiving so that you guys can go and get on with your evening. And then of course I always post a picture tomorrow of the card that I made during that, so you will see it with the dimensionals. You're not really gonna miss anything. Okay, so those now are gonna go up there. Yeah, that's way better. So thank you, Casey, that was a good idea. Okay, so that's gonna go there, there, there. We gotta figure out where to put those gems though. I don't wanna leave that. Although, you know what? Maybe I thought the gems were gonna work their way into this card, and maybe they're not. All right, do you guys want me to actually finish? Or do you want to go and I'll just finish later? Because you, again, won't hurt my feelings. Or do you want me to put it together so you can see what it's gonna look like? Where did I put that adhesive? Right there. Yes, finish. Okay. Unless my husband yells at me that I have to go up and finish, help make dinner. It's roast chicken night, which is generally his jam, which is awesome. We make this roast chicken recipe that I got out of like a Canadian Living magazine like a trillion years ago. But it has this lemon, you stuff it with a lemon, and then you make gravy with the lemon juice. So we call this the lemon gravy chicken, which, you know, so then my son, he loves it, which is awesome. So when we say we're having roast chicken, he's always like, oh, the one with the yummy gravy. So it's quite great because I don't know how many of you have kids, but they don't always love what you're making. We're also having green beans, which he doesn't love, but we've started saying he's just got to have some on his plate. And yeah, that's how that goes. All right, dimensionals. What is going on there? All right, well, you're not going to see that. This is also the beauty of this card. The imperfections of my cutting and layering, oh, we decided that one was going underneath, didn't we? Are not going to be obvious. Okay. Sorry, I'm deciding. Fluttering. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this guy is definitely going to have his own dimensionals. This one is going to have dimensionals on this edge, And then this one is going to have dimensionals down here, but they are going to be attached to this one, so they don't need dimensionals everywhere. Does that make sense? Because that's going to be underneath it, and then this one is going to be sort of over top like that, right? So we need to kind of go like this. So that's going to kind of be like that. And then, what did I decide? This is going underneath. So sort of like that. Okay. We're getting there, folks. We are getting there. My apologies. This is taking a little bit longer than I was hoping. So actually, I do need dimensionals on both corners of this one because it's underneath. Kind of like that. And then we'll do a little bit like that, although we don't really need it. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. I appreciate your patience and also your input. All right, we've done it, folks. We've done it. Now, can we add any of those gems? So I think I'm gonna stop using this blue background too. Do you guys find it distracting? Would it be better if it just was white? Especially those of you who watch on a regular basis. Do you find that the blue is distracting? All right, let's pull out these gems. Do we have a spot for them? A white background. Okay, I'll stop creating on the blue. So we could do like a big gem in the center of the flower. I don't know if I'm gonna like that. Let's see, what do you guys think? Nope, I don't like it. It's too square. But we could, I don't know, do we put, I'm not sure, you guys. This is kind of where I sometimes really can't decide. And so I kind of do nothing. Do we add some gems? Do we leave it gemless? They're very square. I don't mind the gemless. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot going on there, hey? I don't know if I love these square ones with the flowers. I love these gems, don't get me wrong, but I think not here. Okay, we're done. So my apologies, that was a little bit longer than I was hoping, but hopefully you enjoyed it and you can play around with this sketch. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Feel free to share. And yeah, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your long weekend. And hubby is going out of town, which means I get to do more crafting. So hopefully I will have some more Facebook Live throughout the week. All right, bye guys.